All right, I have got 1.4 homework pulled up here. And so, question number one, use factoring to solve the quadratic equation and check by using substitution or using a graphing utility. So, first off, they want you to put this in factored form. So, I've got x squared minus x minus 56 equals 0. So the first thing you want to do when you factor is make sure it's equal to 0. So mine's equal to 0. We're good. Now, it's a trinomial, so it's got 3. So remember, you play the game of what multiplies to the last number and adds to the middle number. So what multiplies to negative 56 and adds to negative 1? So let's think. So you got 1 positive, 1 negative. What about negative or positive 7, negative 8? Negative 7 times 8 is negative 56. Negative 7 plus 8 is negative 1. So what? This is actually going to be my first answer. Okay, x plus 7 times x minus 8. Oh, gosh. So I'm going to write it in factor form. X plus 7, x minus 8. And then that's the first step. Does it let me check answer? And then now I'm going to find the solution set. So to find the solution set, I set each of these equal to 0. So I set each of those equal to 0. So subtract 7, x equals negative 7. Add 8, x equals 8. So it's negative 7 and 8. That's my solution set. So I'm going to go negative 7, comma 8. Check answer. Next question. Go yellow space. Okay, let's look at number 2. Number 2, same thing. You're going to factor it first. But on this one, x it's not equal to 0. So you got to make it equal to 0 first. So I'm going to write this down. So I've got to make this equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 6x and subtract 16. So x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. So I'll do that first. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to find what multiplies to negative 16 and adds to negative 6. What multiplies to negative 16 adds to negative 6? Negative 8, positive 2. Negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. Negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. So there's my factored form. So x minus 8, x plus 2. X minus 8, x plus 2. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Now the solution set, just to make those equal to 0. X minus 8. Okay. Equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. Add 8, x equals 8. Subtract 2, x equals negative 2. So it's negative 2 and 8. So you just get the x by itself. So negative 2 and 8. All right. Trying to not to go too fast here. Third one. So we've got 4x squared equals 24x. We're going to solve this by factoring. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make it equal to 0. So we're going to make this equal to 0. So subtract 24x, subtract 24x. 4x squared minus 24x equals 0. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make it equal to 0. Now, next, you could take out 4x. They have a common factor of 4x. I'm going to factor out 4x. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Add 2x's, take 1 out, so 1's left. 24 divided by 4 is 6. Had an x, took it out. Okay, so I took out the greatest common factor. These two had 4x in common. So I took out 4x to the left, divide each by 4x. So that's going to be my factored form. Do they ask for a factored form answer? 4x times x plus 6. Okay. All right, next we're going to set each of these factors equal to 0. So 4x equal to 0, x minus 6 equal to 0. So divide by 4, 0 divided by 4 is 0. Add 6, x equals 6. So it'd be 0, 6. Would be your solution set. Number 4, I believe this is solving by the square root property. This is not that bad. 3x squared equals 12. So on this one, when the square root property, you just want to get the x by itself. So it's kind of like doing a linear equation. So you'll divide by 3 first. Divide by 3. X squared equals 4. So divide by the number. Anything attached to it or anything around it, you got to move it. You want to get the x squared by itself, and then you could square root both sides. Square root, put a plus or minus in front. What's the square root of 4? 2. So it'd be plus or minus 2. So my solution set would be negative 2, 2. No factored form here because we're not factoring. Oh, let me do that. Sorry. All right, number 5. So we're going to go back here. Solve by the square root property. This one's not too bad. 4x squared plus 2 equals 14. So we're going to solve this by the square root property. So we're just getting x by itself. So we're going to subtract 2. We do this when there's no x term. There's no just power of 1. Okay. Then we'll divide by 4. Divide by 4. X squared equals 3. And then square root, put a plus or minus in front. Now the square root of 3 does not, no common factors, no way that can break down. So it's going to be negative square root of 3, comma square root of 3. So 2 irrational solutions here. Probably going to have irrational solutions. So negative square root of 3, comma square root of 3. All right. 6. So we've got, this is going to be extracting the square root. 3 times x plus 5 squared equals 36. So the first thing we want to do is we want to remove that 3. So we got to move the 3. So we're going to divide by 3. Divide by 3. X plus 5 squared equals 12. All right, now I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Square root, plus or minus. So x plus 5, this is not going to be a perfect square, so it's going to be plus or minus the square root of 12. I'm going to leave some space in between there. The problem here is that 12 can simplify. 12's got factors in it. It's got a pair in it. So 4 and 3, 2 and 2. So that'd be 2 square root of 3. I could subtract 5 too. So it'd be x equals negative 5 plus or minus 2 square root of 3. negative 5 that, plus or minus, there's a pair of 2's there. So I have to do that. Minus 2 square root of 3, and then negative 5 plus 2 square root of 3. Negative 5 minus 2 square root of 3. Negative 5 plus 2 square root of 3. Okay. Ready? Okay. 7's a little bit more painful here. They want you to do completing the square, so we'll walk through this here. Okay. I'll pause it a few times if I need to. Let's first get to the first step. You want the constant to be on the right. It is, so that's good. So you want that to be on the right. Next, if there's anything in front of x squared, we got to divide through by it. There's nothing in front of x squared, so we're good. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your b value, which is me for it, 6, divide it by 2 and square it. So take your b, divide it by 2 and square it. So what's 6 divided by 2? 3. 3 squared is 9. Okay? So you're going to do that. Let's figure out that value. And once you figure out that value, you're going to add it to both sides. And I'm going to pause after this. So this is the first step here. That's wanting to know which value you're adding to both sides, which is 9. All right, I'm going to pause. I need to put this in the answer. So I'm going to choose this one right here. Okay, I'm going to put 9 in these spots.
Hubbard, when you're doing like this finding a discriminant, do you still need to include the square root? No.
All right. Okay. So now we're going to solve this, finish it by completing the square. So so now this factors to a perfect square trinomial. What multiplies to 9 adds to 6? 3 and 3. So it's just b divided by 2 every time. Negative 8 plus 9 is 1. So it's just b divided by 2 every time. Just this divided by 2. All right, next thing, square root, put a plus or minus in front. So x plus 3 is equal to, what's the square root of 1? It's 1. And I'm going to leave a gap there. Okay. I'm going to subtract 3, you do it to the front. So it's negative 3 plus or minus 1. And I'm going to pause there. Can't stop there, though. So now I'm going to rewrite this as negative 3 plus 1 and negative 3 minus 1. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. Negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. So that's my answer. So negative 2 and negative 4. Okay. All right, smart. Now, you could do this one by quadratic formula. I'm going to do it by completing the square just to stay consistent, but you can do. Okay. So the first thing I do, move the constant to the right. It's already there. Second, divide through by whatever's in front of x squared. It's 1, so we're good. Third, take b, divide it by 2, and square it. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Okay. That's all right. That's all right. Now we're going to add this to both sides. Add that value to both sides. Now, what multiplies to 4 and adds negative 4? Negative 2, negative 2. Just take b divided by 2. Negative 1 plus 4 is 3. So it's just b divided by 2 here. So it should be minus and your b divided by 2. All right, square root, plus or minus. So x minus 2 equals, I'm going to leave a gap here, plus or minus the square root of 3. Square root of 3 is not a perfect square, does not simplify. So I add 2 in front. This will be 2 plus the square root of 3, then 2 minus the square root of 3. Let's just go enter that in. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. All right, question 9. Solve using the quadratic formula. Okay, thank goodness. Enough of that completing the square. But you could do that. So quadratic formula, you got to make it equal 0 first. Identify A, B, and C. A is the coefficient of x squared, the number in front of x squared. B is the number in front of x. C is the constant. All right. And then you're going to do the formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, simplify everything around the plus or minus. So it's negative 10, 2, and then 10 squared minus 4 times 1 times 24. That'd be 4. So the square root of 4 is 2. So it's a perfect square. So this is a nice one. So then I'm going to write two separate expressions. Negative 10 plus 2 divided by 2. Negative 10 minus 2 divided by 2. Negative 10 plus 2. That'd be negative 8. Negative 8 divided by 2. Negative 4. Negative 10 minus 2. Negative 12. Negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. So it'd be negative 4, negative 6. All right, let's try number 10. Quadratic formula. 2x squared minus 3x minus 1 equals 0. Okay. So a equals 2, b equals negative 3, c equals negative 1. Okay, now x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4 AC all over 2A. Negative times negative 3 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. That's 17. So this one's not going to be rational. So this one's not going to be a rational one. So you're just going to leave that. I typed what was inside the square root and just leave it alone. That's called the discriminant. So I'm going to have two different answers here. 3 plus the square root of 17 divided by 4. 3 minus the square root of 17 divided by 4. So plus 3 minus the square root of 17. I'm at 4. Yeah. It's not a perfect square, so 11. Compute the discriminant and determine the number type of solution. So this one isn't that bad. This is light work. The discriminant's b squared minus 4ac. I'm going to copy this down first. Okay. So a is 1, b is negative 2, c is negative 6. So b squared minus 4ac. We'll calculate what that is, and then I'll determine what the that's 28. So that's one answer. We'll talk about, I'm not sure how they're going to word the second part. So this means there's two unequal real solutions. When it's positive, there's two unequal real solutions. So this is positive. So therefore, there are two unequal real solutions. All right, ready for 12? Chromebook. All right, so 7x squared, discriminant again. This isn't too bad. So you identify A, B, and C. C equals 5. So it's B squared, so negative 6 squared minus 4AC. So negative 6 squared minus 4 times 7 times 5. That's negative 104, negative 104. So when it's negative, it's actually going to be it's either going to be 0 real solutions or 2 complex solutions. I don't know how they're going to word it. That means the same thing. So it's negative. So there's going to be 2 imaginary solutions. So And your notes didn't cover that. Your notes said 0 real solutions, and that's technically right, but if it's negative, 2 imaginary solutions, which is the same thing as having 0 real solutions. Okay. Uh-oh. Frozen for a moment. Now let's look at 13. Make sure this is still going. Okay. 13. Compute the discriminant. So I've got x squared minus 22x plus 121. A is 1, B is negative 22, C is 121. So I'm going to do B squared minus 4AC negative 22 squared times 4, 1 times 121. That gives me 0. And if you get 0, you get one solution. I'm not sure how they word exactly, but it's one solution. One real solution, maybe. One real solution. Okay. All right, now we're going to pick our method of choice. So now this is not the discriminant anymore. This is now solving it by however you want to. So you could do it, if it's factorable, we can do it by factoring. If it's quadratic formula would always work. That's one way. Like I'm tempted to do quadratic formula because I know that way is going to work. So if I do, I can subtract 12. 3x squared minus 16x minus 12 equals 0. And identify A, B, and C. X equals negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Okay. Negative 16 squared minus 4. Don't type the square root in. Just do what's underneath the square root. So it's 400. That's going to be a perfect square. So this is going to be a perfect. So this is going to be 20. Okay. So this one's a perfect square. So I could have factored this one. So I got 16 plus 20 divided by 6. 16 minus 20 divided by 6. 16 plus 20 is 36. Divided by 6 is 6. That'd be minus 4 divided by 6. It'd be negative 2/3. This would be 6 comma negative 2/3. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish these off because I want to get this video done here. And if you need further help with this, I can help you tomorrow too. So I'll post this. Quadratic formula, A equals 1, B equals negative 4, C equals 13. So negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Now we'll simplify around the plus or minus. I'll type what's underneath the square root. So negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 13, negative 36. you could take out an I, so it'd be I squared root of 36, which would be 6I. So then I'm going to divide each by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so it's 2 plus or minus 3I. 2 plus 3I, 2 minus 3I. Whoops. All right, one more. Use the quadratic formula to solve the equation. So 5x squared plus x plus 2 equals 0. So a equals 5, b equals 1, c equals 2, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 ac all over 2a. So it'll be negative 1 there. That's 10. That's negative 39, which would be I squared of 39. 39 is 3 and 13. That's not going to break down. So what we're going to do on this one is split this up. So it'd be negative 1/10 plus or minus I squared of 39 divided by 10. So it'd be negative 1/10 plus I squared of 39 divided by 10. And negative 1/10 minus I squared of 39 divided by 10. So negative 1/10 plus I square root of 39 divided by 10 and negative 1/10 minus I square root of 39 divided by 10.